Good morning, everybody. Or, presume maybe you're going to sleep. But I was my watering day today, and I've just finished. But it was the quick watering day because it's just the water flush. So, no rinsing before, no rinsing after, just putting it right in the water. So I found a few interesting things while I was watering because we do watch carefully. And thank you for coming to join me. You may want to get something to drink and sit down and relax if you can. Looking after orchids is a great way to relax because while you're doing that, you're not worrying about all the things you could worry about. You're putting some good music on and you're looking at them and you're watering them and maybe doing things in between. So that's what I've been doing. And we've been busy, and this is a day early because tomorrow Mom at 97 gets her first shot. So they're doing the over 90 years old, so tomorrow at 11 we take her for her shot. So I thought I'd do this early, and I want to show you a few things I found. So now I have, let me see if I can, I have this basket, and I thought, gee, people probably wonder how on earth I water it. So maybe we should just get that down a little closer. Ooh. Oops, sorry. There we go. I hope that's better. So anyway, what I do is sometimes I just use this mug and I dump it on. What I found, but luckily I have this. I love this. So I can set it on my drain rack and just water this side, and then turn it around and water this side, and I keep doing that, and it gets its flush. Or if I'm adding fertilizer, then I pour it from a jug onto it. So I don't, because I don't want to break this basket, I'm pretty careful with it. And they're doing really well. So I'm going to give you a close-up. They seem to, I'm dripping all over. Now, when I was a kid, my mom always used to say, "You're so messy, Carolyn." And my brother, who was a year older than me, we'd do the dishes, and we'd start after supper, and we'd be doing it 2 hours later because we had water fights, and I wasn't allowed to wash because apparently I wasn't a good dishwasher, so my brother washed most of the time and I dried, but it was always a water fight, always. And I got called Messy Bessie, and I still am. Do you guys get soaking wet when you're watering? I mean, I end up with like soaked cloths because I put them under and I walk them back, but I don't know if you guys go through that. But anyway, I'm usually wet, but I'm having fun. So that's how I watered that, and I wanted to show you, so I'm just going to put it over here even though it's dripping. And I want to show you this drain rack. Now if anybody wants to spend $60 on a drain rack, but I was tired of having these little thin things that didn't drain properly, and I use this for all my orchids. It is so good. So I typed in one day a few years ago, I typed in commercial stainless steel drain rack, and I found this company that made very heavy duty drain racks, and you can see it's all scratched because I put my pots there. Has 2 feet, it's very heavy, and I had the dish rack, so I kept that, and it fit here, and it always drains into the sink because it's a little raised. It won't get all moldy underneath, so I'm not trying to sell it, but I'm thankful for it. So what do I want to show you today? Okay. Now, as you know, I love these little I pick them up at garage sales, and I got a few of them. And they're just wire baskets that I lined with the cocoa matting. And the orchids have been very happy in them. This one's still dripping a bit. So, but what did I find? Besides these beautiful flowers that have been at least a month, probably more. I didn't look it up, but look what's happening. Yeah, that's a second spike. I am happy. I was happy to see that, and it must be happy. And I don't know why it's not got an over amount of leaves. Like, I know it's important to have at least 4 or 5 leaves. But it doesn't have an overabundance of leaves, but it's always hung in more light in the window and then on the patio in the summer. So it may just have collected more energy because it's closer to the light source. I don't know, but I am happy. And that is not all. So I'll put this one here to put away. And I'll just kind of wrap a towel around this basket because it's going to drip everywhere. There. There. Now, and then I had a little one. This also hangs in the window. But they're so cute, and I only paid $1 for them. I think I have 3 or 4 of them. And this one has another little bud opening. It's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah. So, one thing I should mention too is I'm not a species expert. If you've bought a species Phalaenopsis, you want to know more about how to deal with it, search it out online because the species are a lot more technical. Now, the Phalaenopsis from the no name, from the grocery stores, the big box, mostly that's all I've ever had because we don't even get dendrobiums, we get nothing. All we get is Phalaenopsis here. So that's what I've had experience with. And yes, I've lost some, but I've learned a lot. And that's why I do this, because I want to share what I learned so that other people can find that when you buy that orchid, even if you pay more for it, it's going to give you years of beautiful flowers. It'll be like part of the family. So, the other thing I want to show you, I have ordered only a few things over time. And back in, I think it was 2017, it could have been, well, I started doing the videos in 15. I think I had orchids about 3 years before that. So I had ordered these 3 real mini Phals. And because Forest View Gardens in Agassiz on the coast, they don't carry Phalaenopsis. They carried these, and I also ordered my 2 dendrobiums back in 2017. They were like this big. They were very small. And the Ana-Larati, this one, has bloomed quite a few times. Very tiny flowers, a nice scent. But it's not looking like it's blooming yet. But look at what I see here. Now, this is a first. Seems to be lots of firsts going on. I think it's this new water schedule. Can you see it? There. Yes, I have a spike. Now this is Phal Anna-Larati Soekardi. I mean, it's very tiny. But when I put it in here, I had got these, those who have been with me a long time, and I put them on a beautiful piece of bark, and I thought they looked beautiful. But it was just too dry. It was something that I was going to have to water every day. So it was not working out for me. So this is it was a white 3-pronged sewer pot. I've seen them in the stores for like the sewer part of the store for like $5 or $6. And then I did a dirty pour finish on it, and it's just like porcelain. It's very, I didn't really fuss over it. I did a video on it. But anyway, so I don't know why all of a sudden, but because the dendrobiums seem to like that drop in temperature, I put it closer to the window. And at night here, it's still freezing. It's cold near the window. And that is really the only thing I can think of, that because these are a little bit different and they are a species. These and the two dendrobiums, and I have one called I have one more. It's the only species I've ever ordered. So, and I didn't even know what I was doing hardly when I ordered these. And I do know this one has lots of roots. I do know that because I'll probably have to be repotting it soon. But anyway, I'm happy to see that. And as you know, lots of things can happen before the event, but I'll be watching it, you know. Carefully I'll be watching it. So, okay, now I'm just going to move this over here. Now, my dendrobiums. I put a picture on the community channel for you that have been there, but I wanted to show you. And these badly need repotted. It is in a latex paint can. And it's been in here for quite a few years, but the only reason that made this flower, I believe, is because it went and got that about 52, 55 or so drop at night. It's beautiful. It's really healthy. It has new stalks coming up, and I'll be repotting this soon because it's been in this can for a long time. And what I did is, usually I have these 2 copper pots I keep these in, but just because I brought them, now that the flowers are out, I brought them in the kitchen, I thought, oh, I'll put them in a nice pot, just to kind of show them off. And when they're out of flower, I'll be repotting them, so that'll be interesting. And I just wanted to show you what they were really in. They're just, I walk in the kitchen in the morning and you notice a very light scent. So just lightly scented. And this one here, of course, is just in a Tupperware thing, and it's been in here way too long. It's also time to redo this one. But they're getting nice new stalks. There's one on this one there. But when I repot them, we'll go into it more there. You know, I let them sprawl and I thought, oh, that's really nice, decorative. But really, they take up a lot of space. And maybe when I repot them, I'll put some kind of stake on the pot so that I'll probably do that ahead of time so that I can stake them a little bit and have them a little straighter. As beautiful as they are. So I wanted to share that with you. And after this short video, there's another one I'm attaching. I had to stop it short because it was Monday or Sunday I did it. I can't remember, but I started coughing and I had to cut it short. So I'm going to join it on to this one. You can see something interesting there. So I'm just going to quickly show you the window, and that'll be it for today because it's like 10 after 11 and it's almost lunchtime again. So I'll just show you the window, and thanks for joining me. I really appreciate all the comments very much. I'm getting to know you all, and I'm sure you're getting to know what a crazy person I am. Okay. We have been so busy. Oh boy. Yeah. I picked these pots up at garage sales too, naturally. And the one in the back is just so happy. Yeah. So I got still put these away. As you know, I hang the baskets. I got one hanging right now. That was early bird. She flowered early. And of course, this is the one last watering day, I broke 2 flowers off by, I don't know how I did it, but there's one there and the other one didn't look very good. So, but they've all been just watered and they're very happy. Just a quick cruise through. I love my traffic cones. Let me see if I can get in a different light that might show this off. I just love them. They're different and the orchids love them. Oh, and quickly, this ZZ plant is, the tray has worked out good. You can't even see it. But that's that piece of plastic I put over. She hasn't tried to get in there at all. But it is just growing new. Jack was walking by and he had to pin one back. Yeah, this one, he come out with this little thing and he tied it back because it's just growing like crazy. So that's it. I got so many things to do. We'll be back with another video before you know it. And glad to have you join me. Bye now. Hi everybody. It's kind of a surprise visit today. And thanks for joining me. And today I've been looking at my one big lip orchid that I got last Valentine's, and it was in bloom. It was in bloom until about, trying to remember, but it was like May or something. So, and I'd repotted it, and then I'd repotted it in another pot that didn't have enough holes, and remember the wood got kind of white and moldy, so I repotted it again in the pot it's in now. So it has 3 buds that were hanging like this and not looking good. And all my other orchids are in bloom and so beautiful. And I questioned this one, and we're going to discuss today why one orchid may just bud blast or just not have the energy to open. And I had misgivings about leaving the spike on this one, and we'll get into that in a minute. So I'm going to take you into the kitchen. You won't see me, and we'll do that. And I want to show you on the way, I have a double spike coming. Okay, so thanks again. I love seeing you guys. I hope you're looking forward to your shots and getting out, going normal again. Mom gets her shot. They're starting with 90-year-olds and more, and she's 97. So we take her for her shot on Wednesday. So I'll be changing my watering day to Tuesday probably, and because you don't know how long we'll be there. So anyway, I want to show you the double spike that's coming, and then I'll take you into the kitchen and we'll have a look at that orchid. Okay. These are all doing fine. Now this one has just been beautiful. And it's in the wire basket with the cocoa fiber matting. It comes in a roll that I put in it, and then I just put the bark inside. It has been in bloom for at least a month or so now, I forget. But if you look in here, second spike coming. Yes, it must be happy. So I'm glad. Okay, so and the rest are doing good. Oh, and this one, last watering day, you know what I did? I hit this on the tap and broke it off, 2 flowers. So they're not too happy, are they, Maggie? Huh? They're not too happy. Come on up here, sit up here. Okay, so that's what's happening there. And we won't show the other room because we're going to do this. Now, let's get this set in here so we can see what we're doing. There's my beautiful dendrobiums over there. So let's get down here, see what we can do. Okay, now this is the flower pot I had it in. I tried an experiment. I put clear plastic around it, which I shouldn't have done, and I didn't have enough holes, and it just wasn't getting breathing. But I was trying to make the roots grow down into plastic so I could see them, but it was a mistake. So I had took out this. I did a video of when I took it out of this pot, but we're going to have to add some more holes to this pot, and then it'll be fine. There just wasn't enough. So this is the big lip, and her leaves are firm. Like, they're pretty firm. There's one leaf here that was half off even when I got her. And it's half off, but I've just been leaving it hanging there because it will get some goodness from that leaf. So as long as it's drawing some energy from it, I'm going to leave that. So what I plan to do, because as you see, these are 3 very sad orchids. The only orchid that looks really good is one I got from a friend, and it's on a little clip to do with patchwork quilting. It is beautiful though, and you can make that by putting it on the end of your spike. Joanne gave me that. So anyway, this is very sad. So I am taking all these off, and the reason for a bud blast like this is they start to go wrinkly. You see they're not opening really quick. And let me go up here a bit. See if I can get that. Yeah, they're not opening really quick. They're hanging. They're just, this one went off, and these are struggling. So I think the best bet really is to take it off. And why? Why does this do that? Well, it's not, they will do it from environmental change, like temperature change, any temperature change, a room change, stress if there's bugs on it, something to do with what's going on in the pot, any kind of pest that will suck juices, they will do it, and ethylene gas, none of which I've had. So the only thing for me to do is really check the pot again, because it was in moldy bark before I put it to here, and just double check that and take this spike off and put a little cinnamon on it, because I want all the energy for this growing season to, it did grow one new leaf. This was the new leaf. It did grow a new leaf since I got it, this one. But it's just, they have to get enough light in the growing season, which is coming up. They have to get enough light, and they like the warmth to store enough sugars for energy. The fertilizer is not a food. They get the fertilizer helps aid the roots to, helps aid the process, but the process, whether we fertilize it or not, would happen anyway with your light, your longer days, lots of light, and warm temperatures. So I'm just going to put this on the stove and heat it up 1 second, which I should have done. Better not use that burner. There we go. Okay, So I'm going to snip that low right down here. So there they are. Yeah, they're just too sad. I'll try putting them in some water and see if they will, anything will happen. So I'll just put them in this for now. There, we'll just put that there. Just in water, we'll see if it'll perk up. But you can see when you're going to lose one because you start to see the stem is no longer green that goes to the flower. It starts to wrinkle and go white or yellow. So that's what happens. So I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do. So I think the first thing I need to do is take this spike, this metal clip off the pot. We won't be needing that. I will put some cinnamon on that hole, the spot, but I'll wait and look in the pot first and we'll see. So let's go this way a bit. And I'm going to dump it out right here. And very carefully, I don't want to hurt it. The plant looks healthy, but I want to make sure if you think there's something wrong, the best thing to do is check in the pot. Now, watering day was last Thursday. Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. So what have we got? Now, if you remember, I had some moldy bark last time. Now it's holding good. And these are some roots that didn't make it when I repotted it. So these should come off. And I sometimes get a good hold and I'll pull them or I'll leave the inner core. These ones should come off. Now these ones here, they're nice and firm. This one looks a little, we're just going to get rid of the ones we don't like. So it's always good a few months after you've repotted your orchid to go in and clean it up. Because what happens is when you change their media, which I did, this one was in moss, when you change their media, then they quite often lose their roots and they grow new roots to go with that new medium. So just make sure these are all firm, and I'm not going to pick the bark off. They like to be clinging to something, and it has the feeling that it is clinging. And these roots all look pretty good. I don't see any others that could be causing any problems. So, and I don't see any white moldy bark anymore. So I think it got over that. I'll just put it in this white pot for a minute, and we'll just check. So I was going to water Tuesday, and now if you look close at this bark, it's pretty dry. I could have given it probably, I'm thinking, just was a little too dry, and that's why the buds didn't make it. Maybe in flower, this one needs a little more water. It's damp, but it's not enough to probably open those buds. So it could have been my error, but best to know. That's how you find out. And we've taken these off, the ones that weren't any good, that have died off from the change in medium. And I'm going to put it right back in this bark. I'll just throw this in the compost. So when you have to try not and spray these with water, like I've gotten mine wet before and they've survived, but if they don't dry real quick, they will get mold spots. So as soon as I finish watering, I make sure I put my ceiling fans on, and that helps them dry quicker. And I always do it in the morning, water in the morning, so it's got plenty time to dry. So I'm going to put that back. I'm watering on Tuesday, so I'm not adding any extra water, but I will just run some on the roots before I put it in there. It's got nice healthy roots here. I don't think there's any problem with that. And these, so I think it was mostly because I should have done, when in bloom, they're using more energy, more water. I probably could have watered twice. I haven't been doing it for the other ones, but this isn't a real big pot. It's kind of low and square. But you find this out, and these leaves wanna, they wanna lay to one side a bit. I'm going to just turn it this way, and I'm going to let this bark just fall in there. Now I use just bark. I could add a little charcoal. I have trouble finding some big pieces, but I should hunt it out. Charcoal would be something good to add. My pots don't get that moist, so I've never had crown rot because they always drain so quick with the bark. There's nothing moist hanging around unless I put it in a pot with not enough holes, 2 holes. And it was also, I was putting it in plastic, so it didn't even have those 2 holes. Then that's not enough for it. So I'm glad I know, and next year we will be so much happier knowing it doesn't right now. When that spike is on, they draw energy trying to open. And if you take it off, like most people leave the spikes on, they're welcome to. It's a very debatable subject. They will cut it back to before a node, and then in a month or so they might get more flowers. But those nodes also require energy. They're taking energy from the plant to do that. And right now, I do not want this plant to do any more energy other than for its leaves and its roots. So that is why I'm doing that. Now this will get watered on Tuesday. So yes, my pots always run on the dry side, and the roots weren't suffering from being on the dry side, but I think the flower was suffering from being on the dry side. So all my other flowers, not a problem. So I'm going to put some cinnamon on that, and I'll show you the ones in the other room and give you a close-up of these dendrobiums. So now I know. Now I know, because you know it survived the potting very good. The leaves were, I think it grew 2 leaves actually. I think it grew this one, which was smaller, and then it grew another bigger one. So this year with this new watering schedule, I think there's going to be lots of root growth. So here are my 2 nobile dendrobiums. Now I got them in 2017. I did a video at the time, and they were just babies, and they probably could have been flowering, but they say the nobiles don't need as much, they flower easier, but this one did need that 50-degree Fahrenheit temperature, between 50 and 55, for a few months in the winter, and not any water. But as soon as I saw new spikes coming, this is a new one, I started watering when it was small there. So Excuse me. So, okay, I'll show you the other room. I got a tickle. Okay. Excuse me. And the minis are starting to go because they don't last as long as the other ones. Okay, that will be it for today. Thank you.